Welcome traders to a very special edition of our weekly swing review. Today we're not only reviewing our weekly swing picks from last week, but we're also taking a deep dive into the monthly and quarterly swing setup reviews as well. And let me tell you, this one's for all of you who have faced challenges on your trading journey. We know that trading can be tough at times. You know, we've all been there. We've faced setbacks and wondered if we're on the right path. But today we want you to know that you're not alone, okay? We're here to help and support you every step of the way. So before you think about clicking away, stay with us, because in this video, we're not just reviewing charts. We're reviewing your potential and your resilience. We'll analyze the successes and the lessons, and we're going to give you insights to make informed trading decisions. Now, as we reset to new candles on Monday, it's a fresh start for all of us. And what I mean by that is the daily, the weekly, and the monthly and the quarterly charts all reset to new candles. So it's a fresh start. So your journey matters. And together we're going to continue to learn. We're going to continue to adapt. And we're going to continue to grow. So let's dive right in. We'll discover how our weekly, monthly, and quarterly swing setups have fared. And stay tuned, because we believe in your trading journey. So as we look at this weekly chart, the first one we look at is Apple. And guys, we talked about this, okay? We talked about how these double inside bars present fantastic opportunities. They're super rare. They don't happen very often. And all we were looking for was the trigger off of the high or the low end. And if you go watch the review video from the weekly, we went back in time to see the last time this happened. And it was quite some time ago. But it worked out in the exact same fashion, okay? We triggered and we hit targets, and that's exactly what Apple did. And this is all you guys have to do. You have to wait for it to trigger. So we opened right here above that trigger line, then we came through, okay? That's what we're looking for. We're looking for this trigger, and once it triggers, that's our opportunity to get into our swing play. So we hit targets 1, we hit targets 2, which were very minimal. But then we hit target 3, and I believe the target 4 was hit as well. There's 4 and 5 were hit, and then the 6th one was obviously way down. That doesn't mean to say we can't hit this further down. So you could realistically still be holding on to these swing plays, or a few of them, a few of the contracts if you got multiple, but you should have been in profit in this trade, okay? You should have taken away money out of Apple. So if we look at that, we are 1 for 1 on our swing trades again. And guys, if you go back, and girls, if you go back and look at our previous review videos, man, we're hitting 75+% on the setups that I'm handing out to you guys every week for free. I do these videos for free, F-R-E-E. Okay, we had another inside bar. And again, we talked about the potential of the inside bars. Okay, so we did gap open. So meaning we opened below this trigger line that we marked out for you guys. We gapped below that line, but still, even though we hit that gap or open on the gap, we hit 1, 2, and I'm guessing that orange one, I know that's the yearly, but that is another target. So we hit 3 targets. So again, 2 for 2 on these plays, guys. You should have left with profit. 2 out of 2. Disney, same thing, inside bar. We talked about the potential of those inside bars where we open and then we triggered, okay? And then we hit target 1, which was, again, very minimal, but then we hit target 2. It reversed up. As it reversed up, I would have been taking profit at that target. You guys should have left Disney with profit. That's 3 for 3. We look at JP Morgan. JP Morgan is another one, okay? We opened, we triggered. We already know we were 2 down on the month, okay? We already knew that. So you look at time frame continuity, that gave us high probability because the quarterly, because the monthly were already trending down. This was a high probability setup for us to trend down on, okay? So we opened, we came past that line, we hit target, and we reversed. So again, you should still be in profit on this one if you haven't taken your profit already. JP Morgan, you should be in profit. That's 4 out of 4 that we gave you on the weekly swings. And if I go back, I'm pretty sure these were the top 5 or top 4 setups that I gave from the Griswold Gold members. They get the top 5 setups for each one of these, okay? For each one of the weekly swing lists that I put out and the daily watch lists I put out. These were in the top 5. So if we go to Goldman Sachs, again, We triggered. We hit targets. We hit second targets. And then we reversed. And the targets they're very simple, guys. They're just the low of the preceding wicks. That's it. Okay, this is realistically, this is what you would call organic trading. We're trading organically. There are no indicators that we're using. You don't see any lines coming up and down on my chart. There's no RSI. There's no MACDs. There's none of that. We are using the candlesticks. It's very, very organic. It's very, very simple. Okay, it either is or it isn't. So we triggered, we hit target 1, we hit target 2. Then we started to retrace. If you wanted to use this as your stop loss because you've hit the target, once it reverses through there, great. Take your profit. You know you're leaving this trade with profit, okay? 5 out of 5. We move on to Oracle. This would be 6 out of 6. These 3-1 setups, we've talked about these in every single one of the videos almost. We talk about these 3-1 setups. We go back and look, and you notice they're colored white and yellow. That is part of my Griswold Strat indicator. It colors these for you guys. It colors the highlighted 3-1 setup. It highlights it in gold for you guys. There it is. The last time we had one, big run to the upside. There's potential on these setups, guys. We run through them not because it's just I think it might go this way or I think it might go that way. We give you these setups because there's high probability that that's what happens, okay? And we look at Oracle. We could have taken it either way. It trended to the downside. We hit targets. We hit at least one target, and then we go back in time. Target 2 was hit. Target 3 was hit, okay? Again, you should have left Oracle with profit. That's 6 of 6. We're 100% so far on these trades, and it's not all going to be 100%. They don't work out like that. We look at General Motors. Here's the 7th setup. We gapped open, and we came down. We hit targets and reversed back up. So you could have played this as a break even, a small loss. You could have taken profit at that target like you should be. I'm going to call this 7 for 7, okay? Because we hit targets. We hit original targets. So 7 of 7 on GM. We move on to Alibaba. Alibaba finished inside bar. So you know this one is going to be on this week's swing list for October 1st. The first week in October, it's going to be on there. We're going to break this inside bar. So I think we said we were 7 of 7. I'm not even going to count this one because it didn't break, okay? There was no trigger. The trigger was set. We did not break it. So it doesn't count. So we're 7 for 7. We go on to CVX. Okay? CVX opened here and we trended up, but our trigger was to the downside. We had a 2-up red, so we were looking for it to continue down. It didn't. No buenos. No good. We don't take it. Okay? Didn't trigger. We don't take it. We're not front running these things. Once it goes into force, meaning once it triggers, that's our opportunity to jump into that trade. So again, we are still sitting at 7 of 7. eBay. So eBay, we opened here. We started to trend down. We hit target 1 here. And then we hit target 2 right here. Very, very minimal. We did not hit target 3. And then it reversed all the way up. So I will give you guys this one. On the wrong end of it, we'll call it 7 and 1. We'll say eBay did not work out because even though we hit these very small targets, I'm going to give it to you guys. We'll call it a failed trade. We'll say 7 and 1. Benefit of the doubt, okay? eBay to Morgan Stanley. Morgan Stanley, okay? This was our monthly trigger. Gone through it, okay? We're down through it. And again, we gapped below this original trigger. But if we go back in time, it looks like, here we go, 1 target hit before it reversed. So profit on that one. We're 8 and 1. You could still be in this trade. You could have taken your profit already, but you're 8 and 1 on these setups. We go to XOM. Okay, XOM, we had the 2-up finished red. We were looking for it to trend down. Didn't happen. We didn't trigger. So that puts us still at a nullified trade. We didn't take it. We're still going to be at 8 and 1. And that is it, guys. Out of the 9 trades that I gave you guys, or the 9 setups that triggered, 8 of them worked out. Okay? 8. Like, this stuff it's so organic, it's so simple. We are doing just what the candlesticks tell us to do, and that's it. It's very, very simple procedure to follow. If it triggers, it triggers. And now you can talk about how far you're getting out on time with expiry dates when you're buying these options. So I would suggest at least 2 weeks out, at least. Some people get months out, 1 or 2 months, but I suggest 2 plus. So you can go anything above 2. I wouldn't get a week, okay? Go something above a week. So 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks. And then when you're looking for your price target, your strike price, I would be looking, so for example on Apple, okay, if we're looking for Apple to trigger at 173.86, I'm looking at like a 172, a 171 trigger, maybe a 170, okay? This is a higher priced setup, but on something like $30 or $40, you know, I might be looking at something at like a 40 or a 39, and I wouldn't do much more than that. So as I promised, let's go through our monthly swing setups that we had, and we'll see how the monthly swings played out, okay? And I'm going to tell you they're probably just as good. So we look at AFRM. We had what we call a hammer candle. So not a true reversal setup that we're looking at. It's more of a continuation, or it is a continuation, but we have that hammer candle, which is a bullish pattern. So I looked at this and I said, well, hammer candle, we are potentially looking to trigger to continue to the upside. And that's exactly what happened. We triggered to the upside, okay, and we hit a target. So profit is able to be taken there because we hit targets, okay, target 1, and then target 2 was also hit. Or sorry, that was target 1. Target 2 was not hit yet. Doesn't mean it can't be hit next week, but we hit one target, okay? So we're 1 for 1 now on the monthly setups. We go to Alibaba. So Baba had this inside bar. We look for it to trend up or down. It trended down and it stopped, okay? We didn't make it to the target. It reversed back up. Doesn't mean that in October we're going to have a continuation, but we just didn't hit it there. So for the fact of, you know, seeing where we sit, I'll call it 1 and 1, okay? BA, Boeing Company. Okay, we had that 2 up, finished red. We're looking for that 2-2 reversal. Fantastic trade, okay? We triggered. We hit target 1. We hit target 2. We hit target 3, which also put us 2 down on the quarterly, which at that point doesn't really matter because the quarterly was expiring anyways. But now we're 2 and 1 based off of BA. BAC, Bank of America, we had that inside bar. We've talked about these inside bars over and over and over, and how once they consolidate, that you see those yellow bars, you think of them as a spring being loaded, compacted, squished. That's what we had. We triggered, we hit target 1, we hit target 2, and we missed target 3. But again, available profit to be taken. We're 3 and 1 on those monthly swings. We move on to eBay. eBay, okay? Now we're going to go to 4 and 2 because this one triggered and quickly reversed. We got nothing out of it, okay? So no bueno on eBay. That's 4 and 2 on the setups. On to GE. So GE, we trended up, we broke, didn't quite hit target, pretty close. I'm going to say 4 and 3. I'll give it to you guys, okay? On the low end. Goldman Sachs. So you know this is going to be on our October swings because we have this double inside bar. And when we looked at this inside bar originally, we looked for those big breaks. We didn't even trigger either side of it. We stayed within the range, ended up with a shooter candle, inside bar shooter candle. And let's just go back and look real quickly the last time we had a double inside bar on Goldman Sachs. Look for that blue highlight. That's all you have to do with the indicator. Hey, look. Trigger, target, target. And we just continue to run up for multiple months off of this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months before it topped out. Okay, so a 7-month run on Goldman Sachs coming off of that double inside bar. That's the power of those double inside bars. They're super, super powerful, super rare, and they tend to have fantastic plays behind them. Okay? I don't even know where we are. I think we're 5 and 3 now or something. Home Depot, here's another one. 2 up red. We triggered, hit targets. This was a big target. This was a great monthly swing trade. So we're going to go to 6 and 3 off of this big run. We also went 2 down on the quarterly, it looks like. Or sorry, that might have been a reversal through the quarterly. So from Home Depot, we go to JP Morgan. So we had that inside bar, we triggered, came down, and reversed. So you could still be in this trade on the monthly based off that inside bar. We'll call it 6 and 4. Okay, INTC, inside bar hammer candle. So what happened? The hammer candles, you know, are a bullish pattern. They are a actionable signal on the strat, as is the inside bar. So we triggered, we hit target 1. Then we go back to see the other targets. We hit target 1 here. We hit target 2 and missed out on target 3. So you should have been out of profit on this one. So we're 7 and 4 on INTC. Okay, another winning setup. We go into IWM. We had the inside bar again. We triggered. We hit target 1. Didn't hit target 2, but you are in profit on this setup. You are absolutely on profit. So we're 8 and 4 on these setups. Okay, we move on to Coca-Cola. This puts us to 9 and 4 off of this 3-1 setup. Look at this. And guys, these 3-1 setups, these inside bar setups, over time, probability shows us that this is what we can expect off of these plays. We go back and look for that gold highlight. Part of my indicator, as I mentioned, the link for that to get that indicator is in the description down below. Here's the last 3-1 setup we had, triggered, multiple targets. Fantastic trade. It's exactly what happened on Coke in the month of September. We had this fantastic setup. Okay, worked to our advantage tenfold. Okay, this was a great trade. So I don't remember what I said. I think we're 9 and 4 off of Coke. We look at Lowe's. Lowe's didn't trigger. Okay, we had this hammer candle, 2 down red hammer candle. We looked for it to trend up. It didn't. It was just a 2-2 continuation. So we'll stay at 9 and 4. Lyft. This one's unfortunately didn't work out for us. We triggered and reversed back up. So didn't work out. 9 and 5 on those. MU. We triggered and we hit targets. Okay. And then it reversed. Okay. So I can't tell you that this trade didn't work out because it hit targets and then it reversed. Okay. So there was potential there for you to take profit based off of it hitting targets. So we're going to say 10 and 5. Procter Gamble, that puts us to 11 and 5. We had this 2 up. It finished red, top of a broadening formation, trending down, hit targets. Okay, 10 and 5. The time frame continuity is telling us that this is trending down. Okay, 10 and 5 on these. QQQ, I'll give this one back to you guys. Actually, this is nullified. So we had this hammer candle again, but finished red. Okay, didn't trigger. So we're still at 10 and 5. We just don't take the trade. If it doesn't trigger, we don't take the trade. We look for something else. Roku. Okay, we opened, we triggered, didn't hit targets, but you're still in profit here. Okay, so you're at 11 and 5 off of these setups. Okay, we move on to Tesla. Tesla did not work out. Okay, I'm not going to give you anything because there was no target here. So we're going to go to 11 and 6. We triggered off of this 2 down, finished red hammer candle, triggered up and came back down. So nothing on Tesla. Like, what did we say? 11 and 5. Uber, you would have got burned because we had this hammer candle. It just ticked above. It didn't even hit targets. We're not even going to give you that. We're going to go to 11 and 6. Okay, and then we go to XLV, a winner. Okay, off of the inside bar to the downside, triggered, hit targets. That's 12 and 6. So not bad, not as good as we have been doing on the weekly swings. But if you look on those monthly swings for the month of September, we were 12 and 6 out of 18 setups. 12 of them, that's well over 50% triggered. So that's how that went. And let's finally go onto the 3-month chart, the quarterly chart. This is for you long swingers, those people who like to take these things way out. So we go to Airbnb on the 3-month, okay? And a lot of these played out really well, guys. And I know this video is longer. Thank you guys if you're still staying tuned through this. So my purple lines always represent, for me, the 3-month trigger lines, the quarterly trigger lines. So we set them off of this inside bar hammer candle. We triggered. We hit targets, okay? 1 of 1 so far. We look at BAC. So BAC, we opened, we triggered, came up, and then we started to reverse back through. So I won't give you points for this one. We'll go to 1 and 1 on these, okay? Didn't hit targets, came back through. We will look at this on the 3-month chart starting in October because we had a 2-up that finished red, and we're looking for this to trend back down. So this trigger will be there when we look at the October swings, okay? 2-up, finish red, shooter, candle. So we're 1 and 1. We move on to Citibank. Citibank, there's that inside bar again. So we triggered, we hit target 1, we hit target 2, which is the yearly 2 down. I'm going to tell you guys right now, I'm going to look for Citibank to trend down on the next 3-month setup because we are so close to going 2 down on that yearly chart on Citi. So this would be a pretty safe bet, I would say. High probability setup for us to go 2 down on the year. That's what this is. So if I went to the yearly chart and look at Citibank, there is the 2 down continuation that we would be looking for, the 2-2 continuation. So as of now, on the quarterly charts, we are 2 and 1 on the setups. This was a winner. Okay, General Motors, we got a loser. So we go to 2 and 2. We triggered, we reversed back through and on our way back down. So a 2-up red. We're going to look for a 2-2 reversal on the next 3-month setup on GM. Goldman Sachs, okay, once again, we triggered and then we came back through. So there was obviously potential for you guys to take profit on this. You could have taken profit. We didn't hit a target though. So I'm going to revert back and we're going to say we're 2 and 3, okay? For the first time on this video, we are behind in the count, okay? 2 wins, 3 losses, but you could have taken profit on this. At a 329 trigger to 358, you're looking at profit there. So you could have taken something. But for the sake of saying we didn't hit targets, I'll give it to you. We're 2 and 3. Home Depot, again, you could call this 2 and 4, but we did trigger and we went from 315.44 all the way to 337. So again, there was opportunity there for you guys to take some profit out of this, okay? And we are still currently trading inside year on Home Depot, so we'll see how that works out over the next 3 months if we're going to stay inside year on HD. IWM, okay, I'm going to take this one. We were pretty darn close to targets here, if not exactly. We triggered up, hit targets, so we are now 3 and 4. This was another good trade. I mean, 189 to 197 on IWM for profit. Coca-Cola, obviously I'm taking this one, as you know. We triggered here, so this puts us back to even. I don't even know where we're at. 4 and 5 and 5, I think. Is that where we're at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. So we're 4 and 4 with this Coca-Cola setup. So we triggered, we hit target 1, and we're on our way to hit target 2. We'll see if we have that continuation with all of this time frame continuity here, okay? See what happens, but we're 4 and 4 after that Coca-Cola setup. We moved to IBM, 5 and 4, okay? We triggered, we hit targets, okay? And as we reverse through, you better be taking some profit out of that. There was potential for you to take profit out of IBM. And then we go to Roku. This is 6 and 4. We hit targets here, okay? We hit one target here, which was not great, but we hit this second target. So we're 6 and 4. A nice run for Roku on the 3-month from 75.12 all the way up to 98. Great run for Roku. SE puts us to 7 and 4. We triggered. We hit target 1. We hit target 2. Was there another target back there that we could have hit? Looks like it, just barely, okay? So we hit another target. But again, this is the potential that we're looking at on this, guys. I messed something up here. What did I do? There we go. Anyways, we had the 2-up red, we triggered down, and we hit those multiple targets. We hit 3 targets. So you could still be in this trade looking for more profit if you wanted. But again, this puts us to 7 and 4 on our setups. We go to Wells Fargo, 3-1 setup. We triggered to the upside, and now everything's pointing down again. So would I say we're going to continue down? Well, this is going to be on the October setups where we have the 2 up, finished red, shooter, candle. We're going to look for this in October to trigger to the downside. Again, could you have taken profit here? Of course you could have. At a 43.34 trigger all the way up to 47, it's a 10% move, okay? A little less than that. An 8% move, but on common stock, 8% move. That's really, really large for Wells Fargo on a 3-month time frame. So you had the potential to take profits. 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll say it's 7 and 5. I'll say we didn't hit targets. We'll call it 7 and 5. We go into XLU. There puts us to 8 and 5. We triggered and hit multiple targets. Went 2 down on the year for the utilities ETF. Full time frame continuity. This would have been a fantastic trade. And what do you know? Look, double inside bar. Those are high probability, high potential setups. The last time we had one, it did the same thing, okay? We triggered and we hit targets all the way up. We had a big, big run to the upside. So another fantastic double X inside bar. And I don't even know what that puts us to, 9 and 5 or 8 and 5, whatever it is. But then XOM, we had the 2 up red, so we were looking for it to trend down. We ended up going outside bar. So it triggered. Doesn't look like we hit targets, so we can call that 10 and 5 or whatever. We're at 10 and 6. XOP, okay, a big, big trade. So 11 and 6, 12 and 6, whatever we are. But again, out of 18 setups so far, 12 of them have hit. Okay, that's 66% of our setups hit. And that's not even saying, so here's the thing. A bunch of the other ones also hit. Like they did hit, but they didn't hit targets, okay? So there was still room for you guys to take profit off of those trades. So that's the setups, guys. That's reviews. Make sure you're watching for the weekly swings coming out, the monthly swings, the quarterly swings. If you're interested in any of this, the videos will be out this weekend for you guys. Thank you for watching. Make sure you're subscribed. You can join me on Twitter at Mr. Clark Griswold. And there's a Discord link. It's free to join the Discord. Get in on there. Let's learn and earn together organically. Let's be lions of the stock market. We take things to the upside. We'll take things to the downside, okay? Good luck trading, guys. We'll see you on the next one.